Video games, we're glad you found us here at Retro Game Treasure. Founded in 2015, Retro Game Treasure is a monthly subscription service where you get real video games delivered right to your door. Inside our treasure chests, you'll get 3 to 5 retro video games every month. Every box is based around you and customized to your choices. Best of all, it is not a rental service. You get to keep all the games that we send you. Let's dive in and help explain how it works. Step 1. Select your plan and create your account. Step 2. Go to your game's preferences section of your account to get started. Step 3. Add your inventory. Here you can add all the games you already own. This way we can avoid duplicates and won't send you games you already have. Step 4. Managing your preferences. Here's where it gets fun. Click on Manage Preferences to access your game preference survey. Here you can tell us what level of collector you are, what genres and categories of games you like action, fighting games, racing, and more, your favorite types of themes like anime, fantasy, sci-fi, Pokemon, which consoles you want to receive games for, such as the NES, Game Boy Advance, Sega Genesis, and PlayStation. We carry games for over 20 different consoles, from the Atari all the way up to more modern ones. And in the bonus round, you can choose even more features like imports, mature games, light gun games, and more. You can even change all these settings from month to month to fine-tune your boxes or to just change it up. Whether you're starting or building your collection, Retro Game Treasure is a great way to expand your collection every month. Sign up and get started today at RetroGameTreasure.com.
Well, good morning, Vietnam. How you guys doing? Welcome to Gabbin and Games for Monday. What is today? June 8th. How is everybody doing as the day wraps up? As the day winds down, it's nice to see everybody. Finn Turismo talking about our sponsor right there, talking about Retro Game Treasure. He says, but Jaffe, there's Gamefly. Yeah, the difference is Gamefly, you have to send them back. I mean, you can keep them if you want. They'll charge you for them. But these are yours, baby. This is how you become an actual collector. I am fine-tuning my box. You goddamn right. Hello, Carlos. Brad Skaggs says, Xbox killed it, but Halo popping up on my PS5 store page is a huge L for Microsoft. We'll get into all that in just a second. By the way, if you are interested in Retro Game Treasures, as you should be, as any goddamn red-blooded American or just American, adjacent should be, go over there, enter Jaffe10. Get 10% off your first treasure box. You goddamn right. We'll be playing, we played some of the stuff last week they sent, which was great to go back and play Sky Odyssey as well as NASCAR Rumble. Those actually held up. Look at that. Look at that. We're playing Second Sight later in the week. I'm very, very excited for this. This was one of the games they sent this month. Now, what a week, my delightful Dragoons, we had last week. Lots of video game news, lots of trailers dropping. Once again, you goddamn right, big mistake. She says, please help fine-tune my box. I'm thinking about it. What was that? Yeah, now I'm distracted because I'm thinking about it. Doesn't matter. The point is this. If you talk about E-Day at all, I'll be fact-checking you, says Bookster. Fact-check away. I'm not here as an expert, but what I will say is we got lots of good content last week, lots of good stuff to talk about. Hello, Real Blind Eye. The question becomes two questions. Question one, how are we living in a timeline where people are still complaining there are no great games to play? At this point, I simply have to assume what we're talking about there are people who are just grifting and trolling. There were so many great games announced last week, up and down the budgetary spectrum, my friends. We started the week by, let me tell you guys something. let me tell you guys something. We started the week. I forgot to bring this one up, and hang on. With the horror game festival, which you can find our stream on this very show. What was that? God damn it, Jaffe. What was the name of that goddamn show? That game. We started the week with a horror game festival. I thought it was excellent. There were some really good games in there. Not the least of which was, where is it, Jaffe? Looking for it. I think I know what's happening. It's because there's, oh shit. Okay, I see. They've changed the logo. Okay. This game here, which I played the demo for, I highly recommend this. It is one of the very best horror demos I've ever played. It was just excellent. That's not it. It's this one. This is called Out Fishing. I don't want to say too much about it, but it was just excellent. It was so interesting and different and disturbing, and I'm not a big fish guy in terms of fishing video games. Yes, Joey Bag, you get to keep the retro game cartridges. I'm not a big, fishing mini game guy, but the mini game and the fishing is just kind of part of it, and it's wound so delightfully into the core game itself that it's good stuff. It's really, really good stuff. So that was awesome to see. And then it just, kept going on and on. I'll tell you what I've been playing though. I played The Sinking City yesterday. That demo came out last week. Now I have never played, this is The Sinking City 2. I've never played a Sinking City game. I don't know how this is going to do. I did enjoy the demo, but it was strange only because it clearly was like a B-level RE2 remake kind of game. But it was really interesting. The story was cool. The monsters were cool. It just kind of, it's hard to imagine, how they can compete at a B level when there's so many A level similar games. So a lot of it probably is going to have to do with, will it come out at a time when you're just looking for something to play? Because it was good, but this demo is available and it's good. It's like Resident Evil, Silent Hill, Lovecraft. And again, the demo is not very long. It's like 35 minutes. And I enjoyed it. So this is available everywhere. I don't know if the demo is on all the consoles. And then I have to tell you, and we'll get to the title. I know people want to talk about the PlayStation Xbox thing, and we will. But I want to tell you a couple other things. And I may, depending on how much energy I have left later tonight, I may start streaming cozy games at night. Because I've really gotten into the cozy game genre. Out of everything I played last week, and look, the people who are here to shit on my takes, that's fine, and this won't help, because this is one of the most fun things and most satisfying things I played last week in the Summer Games Fest, which is a demo for this game called Book Nook, and you literally are putting together 3D little dioramas that, how the ones that go on bookshelves with LED lights and all that shit. They've only released one of the dioramas, but it is really fun and it is really satisfying. And I've played this demo like 7 times now. It's fucking delightful. Yes, the code, it's Jaffe10. You can check out with Jaffe10. You get 10% off your first box. Thanks for that. Yeah, so there you go, Book Nook. This is really good. And then the other thing I've been playing, which is also a cozy game, I don't know what's happening. Maybe I'm developing a vagina. I'm really getting into the cozy games, which doesn't just have to be a girl thing. I know, but girls tend to dominate the player demographic. But I'm very much enjoying this game as well. This is called what is this called? Spirit something. It's kind of it's a very light, simple little city sim, right? Spirit Stat. Yeah, well, in the chat, we have Zeke saying, Jaffe, we all get old. It's good to see you embracing old age. It might be like that. It might be like, adult contemporary music, right? Like when you get older, you just start liking adult contemporary fucking music. Old cozy games are old man games, says Mickey Doe. Yeah, well, I'm 50 fucking 5. Go suck your mother's clit again. Play Stardew Valley on stream. I started playing another demo over the week, and I think I started playing this one last night. That was Stardew Valley, but you play a witch. And it's really cute and everything, but I think I just don't really have the Stardew Valley vibe. Like it doesn't really work for me. And so I kind of, what is that? It's called like Witch something. I played it yesterday, but it's a really well made, witch fucking, I don't know what it's called. Witch something. You play a witch and she moves to this little town and she's a witch. I don't know. Shut up. Anyway, it's very cozy. It's very pretty, but I'm kind of bored. Okay. I don't give a shit, Addy Pie. Fuck you. He says, Jaffe, these games are boring. The youth doesn't care about them. I care about them. I like it. You son of a bitch. Anyway, the point is there's lots to play. There's lots of fun stuff wherever you may roam. Witch Spire, it may be called that. Yes, it may be called that. Pacopia, speaking of Nintendo, we know this is coming, and tomorrow's Nintendo Direct may very well be the game that pushes me over the edge to buy a Switch 2, which I'm going to buy anyway, but I need to finish James Bond, and I need to finish, there's like 3 other games I'm trying to finish, then I'll pick one up. But I want to get Tomodachi Life as well. Gene Park says that's his game of the year so far, so my son is playing that game, adores that fucking game. I'm excited for it. So now, this is tomorrow night, 7 a.m. I will do my best to get up and give it a play. Are you asking me if it's called Witch Brook or Witch Spire? Let's see. Let me just, I don't want to leave you. Let's see. Witch Spire? No. Witch, God damn it, Jaffe Brook? No, hang on. What's that thing called? Stardew Valley with, God damn it, Jaffe, with a witch. Come on, Jaffe, what's it called? I don't fucking know. I just downloaded it the other night. Oh, it's probably in my fucking Steam thing then, isn't it? Let's see. Yeah, it's at 7 a.m. tomorrow, the Nintendo Direct. But I want to tell you some of the games that, now, I would take this with a grain of salt, but my understanding is that these are the games that have leaked that will be out tomorrow. Let's see the recently played. This will tell me. Why am I only seeing 3? Can I get more? Here we go. Arcane Eats is excellent. I'm not making this shit up. I fucking played it, you son of a bitch. Well, I don't know. I'll tell you guys later. It doesn't matter. I mean, it matters, but, anyway. Okay, Nintendo Direct coming up tomorrow. Here are the rumors of what you're going to be able to see at Nintendo. Now, I would guess that this is worth taking with a tiny, teeny grain of salt. Why do I need a Google Doc? And why am I an old man joker? I'm 55. Is that old? I suppose so. Smug Dark Loser drops a compliment. He says, Jaffe, listen. I think it's really cool when you're completely authentic. I feel like there's something you're not saying about how you view modern gaming. Really? You don't think this is authentic? What do you need me to do? Pull my panties down and take a poop on camera? It doesn't get much more authentic than this, baby. Listen to this. Tomorrow, There's no way this is true, but I'm going to read it to you. This is coming from Pyro, who we follow each other. He's got a big following on the YouTube, on the Twitter. Super Mario Galaxy 3, Zelda 40th anniversary celebration retrospective plus teaser for Zelda Echoes of the Past. That'd be cool, but Donkey Kong Time to Monkey, which is a new Retro Studios game. Devil May Cry 5, Luigi's Mansion 4, that would be something. Fire Emblem, Fortune's Weave, Xenoblade Chronicles 4, Dustbloods, Mario Kart World DLC, and Zelda Ocarina of Time Remake. I am almost certain, ain't no goddamn way, that this is real. Probably horseshit, but it's fun to speculate, eh? It's fun to imaginate and wonder. For example, imagine playing Gears of War E-Day before all your pals. You don't have to imagine it, actually, because if you have a pre-order of this game, or if you have Game Pass, I think it's unlimited. Let me see what the Game Pass... Xbox Game Pass and PC Game Pass subscribers also receive access during the August 6th weekend as part of your membership benefits. So think about that. Gears of War, I thought, looked fantastic. Gears of War E-Day, which will kind of get to the thesis of what this show is about when it comes to sort of why I've become more of an Xbox fan this generation than a PlayStation fan. But I will say, I thought Gears of War E-Day looked like a goddamn blast. Super excited for it. If you're considering playing the multiplayer and you want to get in the beta, that's how you do it. Either pre-order it or make sure you sign up with a with your Game Pass. You'll be set to go. Listen to this. 007. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm fucking saying to you people. 007. First Light budget was not 200 million, the exec says. I'm assuming what they mean is it wasn't it's by far the most expensive game we've made, but it's not like for the game itself, not 200 million. So, which is great. It's a game that's done incredibly well. It's already sold over 2 million copies. It's a really good game. And frankly, I kind of think it's the way things should go. I think, let's put it this way. We're going to slow roll ourselves into the Sony conversation. If you are Sony, though, I imagine you would rather have this game on your slate than Soros on your slate, or Marathon on your slate. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But the reason I bring it up as it relates to Sony is the cost. Under $200 million. And they made a game most people who play it love it. Right? Which is sort of another bit of proof that you just don't need. Sony has painted themselves into a corner for a long time now, where production value is really now their Achilles heel. And production value is great, and that's wonderful, blah, blah, blah. But if you're talking first party, a lot of times they can be loss leaders. I get that as well, but I don't know, man. If I was running Sony, I'd much rather have a game like this under my belt, even if it wasn't called James Bond. Maybe it was called Siphon Filter or whatever. But anyway, that's good. There's some hints that not every game has to be $400+ million. And I don't think Luffy, or whatever it's called, the God of War game, is terribly expensive, comparatively speaking. I don't think it's like one of their 500 million gambles. I just don't, but who knows? Not me. The guy that, okay, Carlos says Soros cost around 70 million. So it's in the Bond era. Well, I don't know how much Bond cost. It could have cost double that and still been under 200 million. So, but still, not a lot of money in this day and age for video games. That's pretty good for a AAA game. Remember Colin Moriarty exposed that there are some adult men who operate with the brain capacity of a 7-year-old. In other words, I'm talking, of course, about when he had the conversation with Smash JT Head. I just want to point out that I've looked around. This is not, I think this is a real tweet. He says, this is talking about Xbox Campaign Evolved Halo. He says, this is unnecessary and intentionally signaling trans. They know what they're doing. Once you notice bisexual lighting being used, you cannot unsee it. Now, first, then he says, this is intentional. I will not be gaslit. This has got to be a joke. It has to be, right? Or he's just like, dude, I need money, whatever is going to get me engagement. Because first off, forget the fact that trans and sexual orientation have nothing to do with each other. That's, you know, he can be forgiven for that given how stupid the rest of his post is. But he thinks there's something called bisexual lighting. What would you, how do you want the stage lit, director? I'd like most of it cast in greens to represent the indie of the main character, but I'd like to throw a little bit of bisexual lighting over to stage left. So when the animal character walks on, there's a subconscious sense of we love animals and so we should love trans people. Could we make that happen? Sure, you got it. We'll throw a little bisexual lighting on there. I mean, come on. You gotta be, yeah, light, there you go. Iron Mike says, well, light is a particle, light is a wave, light is bisexual. Yeah, but it's only a particle or a wave after you've observed it. So maybe it's a closeted bisexual. You get it? We're doing off-color science jokes here on this show. What do the comments say? Oh God, who knows? Let's find out together briefly. Mighty Keeve, he says, you know, seeing this post, I no longer think you're a grifter. You are genuinely just stupid. That's pretty good. Yeah, nobody's really, no, I don't think anybody's buying it. Wow. He's kept it up though. It's still on. My God, you need to do a complete 180 in your life if you ever want your family to respect you. Can you imagine having children? And he has kids. Can you imagine your children growing up to be normal, like intelligence or higher than normal intelligence? And they eventually find out their dad did this, right? Hell, imagine one of the kids growing up to be a trans kid. Or a I don't know, bisexual kid or LGBT kid or whatever. What are you talking about, you moron? You fucking moron. Signaling. What I like too is it's signaling trans. Like what does that even mean? It's like, listen, trans folks, all you trans folks out there. It's rough times these days, but we need you to know that Halo Campaign Evolved is a trans-friendly space. What the fuck is this guy doing? The fuck is he doing? You did deny the woke stuff before, though. You accept it now, but independent of it being good or not, you were slow to pick it up. No. This is why so many people are stupid. Woke is not a pejorative. Look it up. Something being woke, the way it was originally intended, is a wonderful thing. It means you're not asleep. Okay? It means you're open to the fact that there is, there's a lot of shit in the world that's not fair for a lot of people, and I'm aware of that concept. That's what woke means, okay? Things can be stupid and shitty, like the new God of War seems to be. I haven't played it. Seems to be stupid and shitty. without being woke. I think making the character Deborah Ann Wall look the way she looks in God of War Luffy is stupid and is dumb. Is that woke? I don't fucking know. The fuck are you talking about? It's just a dumb decision. My good friend Gina, who used to be my agent until she gave up realizing she couldn't get me the TV show I wanted, she says he's probably playing it up for dramatic effect, though he could probably sell the serious version too. He doesn't come across as the sharpest tool in the shed. You never know. Gina, this guy wasn't allowed in the shed. They're not the sharpest tool. They said, look, we can't even have you in here, pal. You're too goddamn stupid. You're too goddamn stupid. But yeah, so that's what I'll say about that. All right. Anyway, that's your. Now, there was also kind of a stupid thing that happened. I'm in a good mood, man. I'm playing a lot of cozy games right now. Shut up. By the way, I do want to remind you that this show lives and dies by super chats and memberships and gifted members. So if you want to be a member and you want to be able to chat during our game sessions or our state of plays tomorrow morning, things like that, you gots to sign up, baby, and gift to other people and hit them up with the chat. Now, super chats. Now, let me tell you something. I have no problem. Like if Harrison Ford dies tomorrow and he has left behind instructions, which is like, hey man, I want to sell my image rights. You guys can make young Han Solo with my image rights all day long. Enjoy the shit out of that. Just make sure my family makes a lot of money. I'm down. I'm down. But you know what? There's a point though where don't fucking tell me Tupac Shakur of the Cincinnati Shakurs wants to be in this fucking game. You got to be shitting me. I just thought this was offensive and dumb. Okay? If Snoop Dogg, who doesn't have a problem with it, leaves behind an instruction that says, hey man, do with my image rights what you will. Just make sure my family benefits. Cool. Tupac, come on, man. The fuck was this? Darth Nugget says Tupac is dead. Who cares? I care. And frankly, if you ever listen to Tupac's music, whether you liked it or not, if you ever listened to Tupac's music and you understood how earnest he was about his messages and about what he was saying, you can't say that this would be a choice. What do you mean, why do I care? Because it's just shitty. It's just shitty. It's the same reason I think it's shitty that Stan Lee somehow is going to have his visual and audio rights given to AI. I don't care if that's what Stan Lee wanted. That's awesome. If Tupac wants it, that's awesome. But that's different, PK. Jaffe, ever play a WWE game? Look how many dead people are playable in WWE. Okay. First off, they gave their image rights. They signed away their image rights, right? To Vince McMahon. That's A. B, they're playing the same characters they were playing on TV. It's stupid and it's dumb. And now Kotaku's saying that the guy who approved it, the estate is executed by a guy accused of embezzlement. So you really, come on. The next cameo will be Ozzy in Stranger in Heaven. Ozzy's already going to be appearing, coming up as a hologram, going around to a bunch of music festivals this summer. How do I know if Tupac didn't sell his rights? I know, Addy Pie, because it would be something that was mentioned in the story of this. It would be, before he died, Tupac made it known, blah, blah, blah. That's not what happened. Plus, this wasn't around. Even when he was at Coachella, as a hologram. They didn't have that when Tupac was alive. Snoop Dogg is a bit of a sellout. I like Snoop Dogg, but yeah, he'll, and nothing wrong with it. There's a lot of people this way, but you throw him a goddamn check, he'll star in any goddamn thing you put in front of him. He-Man just tanked at the box office. Give him a check, he'll show up and, be in the sequel. He doesn't give a shit. The money spends the same. But I will agree, though, whether you love, hate this, I will say that this is just distracting, right? There's a point where this doesn't feel like, like somebody was saying, well, Bruce Lee was in the, was in Hitman. Yeah, playing basically Bruce Lee, right? Bruce Lee, is in that type of genre. Tupac walking around in a Yakuza game? What? It looks stupid, man. Now, Doug says Asian cultures don't give a fuck about this type of outrage around AI. It's not AI, right? I mean, the very first Onimusha had a dead, I think it was the first or second one, had a very famous Asian actor playing Samanosuke, and he had died. But he was playing the kind of characters he played in the movies. Anyway, I think it's shitty. I think it's fucking shitty. I'd love to see Masters of the Universe. I'm not knocking it as a movie. I'm just saying it didn't do that well. They're saying it's one of the biggest bombs of the year. Look at this. It's not a big bomb of the year. unless you shake it up and it spills all over your face, then it's like, hey, what's going on with that? Awesome Tatum, thank you for sending a goddamn gifted membership, buddy. We appreciate that very, very much. Actually, he sent 2 of them. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it very much. And then One Pump Man says, look, chat, it's White Kratos. I think he's referring to me. You goddamn right. You goddamn fucking right. One Pump Man says having Tupac in is also weird for the gamer. When you get to him in the game, it will rip you out of the immersion. Agree. 100%. There you go. BWR Rex says it was the second Onimusha, and the guy in Onimusha who was the hero was the villain in the Michael Douglas Ridley Scott Black Rain film. There you go. Okay. Okay, it's a good point, Doug. So if it were a Bloods versus Crips game set in the 90s using Tupac, would that be okay? I think that would be disrespectful to what Tupac was about, because he wasn't just some cartoon cookie cutter character. He was, amongst a number of other rappers of the 90s, he was a poet. And I don't mean just his words rhymed, but he had something meaningful to say. So if you're just going to throw him into a action game about Bloods and Crips, I think it would be more apropos based on his image, at least. It may feel more normal, like the Bruce Lee in a cameo in Hitman. But you know what? Addy Pie, go suck your mother's butthole again. Okay? He says everything's disrespectful now. So much hate. Grow up. This is the problem. There's no nuance in your thinking, right? I can say something is something I don't like. We can bring it up as a topic on this show to discuss what we think about this. And does it, whether or not you find it disrespectful, or whether or not you find it immersion breaking, or whether or not you find it perfect. But we're having a discussion. No one is saying, take this out. We're just talking about it, you fucking cunt. Michael Smith, you old knucklehead, thank you for the super chat. Whether the person agrees to it or not doesn't make it not tacky as hell. I don't agree with that. Thank you for the super chat. If the person agrees, if MK Nub says, I think Jaffe's confused about which audience he's grifting to lately. First off, you spelled 2 wrong, you moron. But second off, no, I don't grift at all. Everything I say, I believe. It's not about disrespecting the dead. It's about, you know what I would say? It's about disrespecting. Why would I ban somebody because they have a different take? It's about disrespecting what he stood for. I don't care about Tupac's spirit if it has awareness at all. It's like, I'm offended up here in heaven or wherever the fuck I am. It's more about, you know, like if you want to take The Rock and and he dies tomorrow from steroid use and you want to put The Rock in any fucking video game in the world, that tracks, because he would be in any goddamn thing. And he said as much. But if you want to go out and you want to do the same to, I don't know, Robert De Niro or John Malkovich or, Meryl Streep, who clearly they care about their choices, they care about the body of work they leave behind, then I think it is disrespectful. So, you know, okay. What about all these embellished autobiographical movies of the musicians? Well, again, you can make any fucking movie you want, right? I mean, you don't have to have the rights to Michael Jackson, who's a public figure, to make a Michael Jackson movie. If you want the estate of Michael Jackson behind it, like they were with the Michael movie, which is about to cross $1 billion worldwide, I haven't seen it, then you probably need to play ball with them. But yeah, you don't. But this is different. This is image rights. This is not, you know, we're making a video game about Tupac. Now that is an interesting thing, because I could go out right now, just like Steve Jobs, the one with Ashton Kutcher. I could go out right now and I could make a movie, a biographical movie about Tupac Shakur. And I could make him a white guy who couldn't rap to save his life. I could star in the goddamn role as Tupac. And I would be allowed to do it because I'm making an artistic statement about a public figure. I wonder, though, if it should, because the First Amendment applies to games according to the Supreme Court. I wonder if I could go out and say, I want to make a biographical game about Tupac and not need any permission. But if I put Tupac in God of War, then that's probably a problem. Why Tupac and not Biggie? They probably didn't have the animation rig for a big fat guy. Probably why. No one asked for Tupac to be featured in a game, says Machine. Yeah, but nobody asked for anything. You know, as I've said many times, game developers are not short order cooks, except when you're ordering a Fanta. This is pretty cool. That's another reason I like Xbox this generation. They just seem to be more, you know, what it is? Not everything's so goddamn precious. Somebody told me this once about Riot, okay? When Riot Games was making what was their big thing? The fucking Dota ripoff, whatever it's called. Not League, is it League of Legends? When they were the biggest thing in town. Somebody says, you know, I was talking to one of the heads of Sony San Diego, and he says, you know, a lot of our guys have been hired by them and they go over there and then they do one thing and then they just sit for years in an office. He said, because League of Legends, they don't know why it's a big hit and they don't want to breathe on it wrong. They don't want to fuck with it. They don't want to take, you know, it's lightning in a bottle and they don't want to fuck with it. Right. Sony, this generation feels that way to me. It feels like everything is so fucking precious. And I don't know if that's true, but it's true that it feels that way. Like, I mean, Fanta, first off, Fanta, who the fuck drinks Fanta? But you goddamn right, I'm going to go out and get some Fanta now because of this. Because you know what you get? This is in celebration of their 25th anniversary. And you get shit for your games. If you play Forza 6, you get a Fanta skin. That's kind of fun. If you play the new Halo coming out, Halo Evolved or whatever it's called, you get a goddamn Fanta skin. You get some other stuff depending on which drink you drink. I think that's cool. Yeah, Orange Fanta is pretty good, MK Nubs. Speaking of NK Nubs, thank you so much for the one gifted membership, buddy. We appreciate it. Full sugar pop, says Big Mistake. I like it. I saw the cool booth Xbox had at the convention showing Xbox living rooms. I saw that. Xbox and Xbox 360 had aura, then everything fell apart and lost its soul. What do you mean, Jesus Christ, Jaffe PG? Fuck you. Fuck you. But again, I'm not showing this because I think this is the greatest thing in the world. I'm saying this because it is, I think, a reflection of just, it's a little more fun, and it seems like they understand gamers. And I'm going to get to my thesis in a second, okay, about why I'm enjoying Xbox more. People were upset about this, by the way, which I thought was funny. Gears of War E-Day video pulled after PS5 logo spotted in Xbox-owned podcast. People are really upset. There's a lot of people. Oh, yeah, you're right. Jimmy Max says Fana is full of bisexual lighting. You're right. People are upset because they wanted Gears of War E-Day. And on the PS5. And it was ready. It was ready to come out on the PS5. Guess what? It's not anymore. Tough shit. Right? The only reason a lot of PlayStation people want the goddamn E-Day so bad is because Sony ain't making shit like that anymore. And they should be. And that gets to the crux of my point, but we'll get there in a second. Let me see what else I got for you nice humans. They have gone back, though. This was their new guy, Matthew Ball. He is the chief strategy officer. He says, he's talking about how basically once the slate of games is shipped that we have already said is coming to PlayStation 5, it seems Xbox will recenter console exclusives as a key offering. Now, I have always said that to me, the future is not console exclusives because the future is not consoles. The future is streaming the game to your television. But I get we're not there yet in a lot of places. We absolutely are there where I live and where I play. I stream any and everything I can. It's easier. It's faster. I get the best graphics that exist. And that's where we're officially going. And I think Phil Spencer, in some ways, I don't know if he was ahead of the curve or somebody told him he has to do. I don't know what it is, but that made sense at that point, because then it's kind of like you subscribe to Game Pass. And you subscribe to Game Pass, and it's like subscribing to HBO Max, right? I subscribe to HBO Max. Right now we're watching The Pit. I've never watched The Pit before. I heard it's great. I can't watch it on Netflix though, right? But until we get there, console exclusives do matter. And so Xbox is rolling back to them, and great, I think, but ultimately, I don't know how much it's going to really matter because, Xbox had a really good year last year on Game Pass, and it didn't really move the needle against Sony. But I don't know if they're going to be able to ever come back, even with console exclusives. But I think they're a much more interesting company right now at a first-party level than Sony, which we'll talk about in a second. Scotty Woodford, thank you, buddy. You've been a member for 51 months. We appreciate it. Xbox is being punk again. PlayStation is boring. Make Sony weird again. Happy Monday. You goddamn right. It's not even that I think they need to be weird again, although that would be great. It's not that. To me... Hang on, where is this? Oh, by the way, before we get to this, Xbox came out today and said, same interview with this guy, Xbox Game Pass lost millions of subs over the months after October price increase, which saw the top-end Game Pass go from 50%, $19 to $29. The price cut, they say, had a positive impact immediately. In May, just a month after the reduction was announced, they have said, we have seen Game Pass acquisitions grow and retention improve. It's not a complete turnaround, but a good first step. So, it's good. It's good to see that happening. Okay. So now let's get to the crux of it, baby. Let's get to the meat. Let's get to the goddamn meat. What did we have this week? We had State of Play, and we had a lot of shows, but clearly we had State of Play, and we had Xbox Showcase, okay? I'm just going to go through these real quick. I'm just going to tell you some thoughts, right? The only reason I would play God of War Laufey, whatever, is because I know it will do well on my stream, but I'm not interested. Until Dawn, I'm very interested in that. That actually seems like a really fun game. Wolverine, I have a hard time right now based on what they showed. Going, I want to spend $80 on this. It looks really fun and beautifully executed and polished, but mechanically it looks pretty fucking generic. So I'm kind of on the fence on that. I'm very excited about Marvel Tokon because this game will have a 10-hour campaign, single player campaign. The rest of this stuff, Phantom Blade, I am excited about still, but the trailer was pretty shitty. I'm assuming it's $79, however much Wolverine is. Isn't that their basic price? Yes, Addy Pie, I am hating on Luffy. I think it's a terrible decision. I think it's stupid. They will come to regret it. Phantom Blade has looked great in the past. I'm sure it will be awesome. So I am excited for that. But the new trailer was not very compelling. Nor was the new trailer for the new Silent Hill. And that was pretty much it. I don't think, I mean, other ones are third party that I'll play on PC. I don't think Ill is an exclusive. I don't think Stuntman's an exclusive. The Silent Hill might be an exclusive though, but I'm not sure, but we'll see. Okay. It might be $70, $70, $80, whatever. Okay. And then we go to Xbox. Okay. Now this is just me. This is all subjective. It is absolutely all subjective, right? So your mileage will vary as it should. The new Stellar Blade looks awesome. We'll talk about that in a minute, but I agree. That looks great, but that's going to be on everything. So Gears of War, I'm excited about. Call of Duty 4, I'm excited about. Campaign, Halo Evolved, I'm excited about. Metro, I'm excited about. Fable, I'm on the fence, but I'll give it a shot. Minecraft Dungeons, no. Spyro, Toys for Bob, I'm excited. We'll see. Clockwork Revolution is awesome. The developer is awesome. People are going to be so surprised if they haven't played any of an Exiles games that were more isometric. If they bring the same kind of player agency to this game, but with this production value, it's going to be insane. So I'm very excited about that. Plague Tale, whatever, everybody's getting that. State of Decay, we'll see. Wulong, whatever. Senua is the first time it's interesting to me because that game, I didn't like the first two games. They were talky and slow and pretentious. Senua looks like a little bit better version than God of War Freya or Freya, whatever the fuck it's called, because it's bloody, it's gory. She shoves a sword into this guy's neck and rips it out and blood goes everywhere. Again, I'm not saying it's like a great game, but it definitely, and the combat in Freya, come on, we'll just say God of War, God of Cube. And God of Cube looks really, really fun and good. But it lacks the oomph, in my opinion. It's very soft. It's very soft. Doom, Dark Ages, whatever, because I didn't like the last one. What else? It's exclusive, right? Magician's Devil Deal. It's day one Game Pass, so it may as well be exclusive. So here's my theory on all this, you guys. Here's my theory on this. Why I like Xbox better. I think what's happened is that, and I'm serious about this. I really think what's happened is Sony PlayStation forgot they were entertainers. I mean, I'm serious, you guys. If anybody at Sony watches this show, and I know some of them do, listen up. You probably already know it if you watch the show. You probably already agree with it. But they forgot their job first and foremost was entertainers. And they drank this Kool-Aid that these guys are artists and they have something to say. And they're storytellers. And that has, for the most part, not entirely, You certainly don't see it in, Ratchet Rift Apart. You don't see it in, there's a handful. You certainly don't see it in MLB The Show, but I don't think you see it that much in Shishima and Yote, but almost everything else, you can see the director directing. And I find it so off-putting. I agree. The Last of Us Canadian Beast changed them forever. I don't know about forever, because I don't think they can afford to stay as changed as they have been. You don't see it in Astrobot. That's right. The games where you see, I heard Spielberg today, because he's doing a lot of press for Disclosure Day. And he said they were asking him, because he does a lot of single takes in his movies, like 90-second shots before there's a cut. And he says, well, I don't do that just to do it. I do it because, it helps ground you in the geography of the scene, and it makes it feel more real, right? Sony's stuff lately feels like everything they do, not everything, but the vast majority of their narrative titles, you can see the guy or girl going, I have to express my vision, right? And that's one of the things I find so distasteful about the new God of War. I think God of War 2018 was excellent. It was interesting. It was so interesting and such a unique twist that you could forgive that you could see a little bit of the directing, right? Because it's just too clever not to love it. 100%. But everything after that feels like we have to pray at the altar of Neil Druckmann. And I fucking love a lot of Neil Druckmann's work. I'm not anti-Neil Druckmann. But, like, who the fuck thinks on the God of War game, like, put some fucking blood in it, man. Put some fucking, yeah, Addy Pie, you're a moron. He says, you're acting like the first God of War wasn't a pure vision game. Of course it was. Just like the guy that directed He-Man had a vision for it. The difference is you couldn't see me directing the game. Right? That game for 95% of people came off as entertainment first and foremost. And it resonated at a level that maybe people didn't know why, but it's the reason you have people today going, the original Greek games were just, Kratos was just angry all the time. Well, depending on the game you're talking about, 1 through 3, he sort of was, but there was more there. And again, things change. You can love the new God of War if you want. I'm explaining why I find Xbox's output this generation more compelling to me as a gamer. It's not that I don't want artistic, emotional games. I do, but I want more stuff that looks like this, right? I'm going to play E-Day. I mean, even E-Day, when I had Cliff Bleszinski on the show, he was saying, he had a lot of politics that he put into the first Gears of War and the second Gears of War. They weren't overt, but they were there. E-Day, Modern Warfare, Halo, Metro, Fable, Clockwork we don't know enough about yet. Spyro, Decay 3, Doom, Devil's Deal, all of these seem like they're singing for their fucking supper. They want to entertain you. They want you to love them. They want to become your new favorite video game. A lot of the Sony stuff, and I'm telling you this, I understand Stick Solid. You can mock me in the chat all you want because you're a fucking moron. You don't understand nuance. But now Wolverine, I would argue, doesn't fall into that because Wolverine doesn't feel, although I don't like the Jean Grey model, but that's not, I just think it's weird. But Until Dawn does not fall into that. Marvel Fighting doesn't fall into that. But God of War certainly falls into that. And a lot of all the God of Wars since 2018 have fallen into that. And I don't like it. I don't like it. And so, if you guys like it, that's great. Seriously, it's great. But good God Almighty, I can't stand it. Like everything feels, like I said, it goes back to the Fanta thing. Everything, it feels so fucking precious. It feels, everything is like, no, don't, don't breathe on it wrong. Breathe on it wrong. See what happens. See, make something interesting happen. For God's sakes. Why is there no blood in the goddamn God of War? What the fuck? Senua. I'm not going to play the trailer and watch it, but I'm going to put it on in the background while we're talking, okay? I didn't particularly like this. I don't like this brand all that much. But I want you to just see the combat. Now, again, these guys are the ones who did the combat for DMC and Heavenly Sword. They got the bona fides. And I'm not saying this is amazing. It's not. It's absolutely not. I'm not looking at this going, oh my God. But just look at the violence of it, right? Look, could it be more? Of course. Should it be more? Of course. But just look at the difference. She sets a guy on fire. There's blood. She's about to cut somebody's neck and probably rip their fucking head off. She bashes somebody with the fucking club. She dumps fire over. Here we go. This is the neck one, I think, coming up. You're fucked, dude. Here you go. Right here's your neck, bitch. Boom. I mean, this feels like she's a badass. This feels like she is an absolute badass. And again, could she be bigger? Yes, she should be more. Certainly Thea in God of War should be more. Certainly this character should be more. But where is that in God of War? I don't know where it is, man. If you check out the God of War trailer, Thea trailer, I don't fucking know. I don't know how to spell this fucking thing. Lafu, fuck, this is a dumb name. Forget that it's purple. And again, I'm not talking about bisexual lighting. Go back in the stream if you don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about bisexual lighting. I'm talking, I don't care about purple. I like purple. It's a good color. But the cube and what are they doing? The cube and the little fucking pink and purple ribbons on the cube. It's and then there's no fucking blood. It's orange. It looks like Fanta, speaking of Fanta. Like and the moves look great, but it looks fluid and almost like a ballet. And again, who wants this? Who the fucking wants this? Right? There's nothing aggressive here. It's just melee hits. Have her fucking pick up a rock and bash it in the guy's fucking head, or there's just none of that sense of power. Right? Maybe it's just me. No, it's not just me. Fuck you. It's all of us. You know I'm right. You may not want to admit it, and that's fine. That's fine. Well, KP says, Lao Fei looks fun to me, but yeah, maybe Gore would be cool. I hate the cube. Right. I understand. I'm not saying the game won't be fun. It's Fin Turismo is right. It's just not God of War. Right? So my take is, if you're going to call it God of War and make it in the God of War universe, and I don't even like that shit either. I don't even like that. Oh, we're going to extend the God of War universe. Why? You guys have done nothing since God of War 2018 to establish any new characters that most people are like, you know what? I really want to play a Sindri game. No, you don't. No, you fucking don't. You certainly don't want to play an Atreus game. I hate to be the truth teller to you guys. Ghetto God says this is far better looking than Senua. Again, maybe it is. I'm not talking about production quality. I'm simply talking about the emotional response that you have, or that I have, when I see that game, and the violence and the brutality that feels God of War. And this feels like Xena, Warrior Princess, right? What the fuck? I want to see her fucking cut the guy's goddamn arm off. And then he's fighting without his arm, and then she picks up her blade when she kills him or hurts him and stabs something into the goddamn hole where the arm was, and he screams in pain. That's God of War. That's fucking God of War. I don't know how this is hard. I just don't know. Yeah, the combat's, I mean, there's no doubt Santa Monica does combat almost better, if not better, than any other studio out there. And Eddie T's right. If it wasn't called God of War, though, you wouldn't even be talking about it. And again, I'm not like, hey, I'm here for Suna. I'm saying whatever that game's called. Okay, Mike Adams says this does not look better than the Hellblade. Stop it. Why are you so dumb? Why are you gay? Why are you so dumb? What, Lorraine? What are you talking about? I mean, even Wolverine, which I thought looked generic, at least that was fucking cool, man. Because you got to see his back ripped off into chunks and shit. And then you could heal it back up, and the blood, the bright red blood on the yellow. That was awesome. Fucking awesome. I think this is a mistake. No, gay is not an insult. I'm doing a meme, you dumb fuck, and you know I am. The guy who says, why are you gay? You know the guy. Shut up. Anyway, it's dumb. And look at the, I mean, I'm mad, guys, and I'm not mad. Look, I don't know why I'm so fucking mad about this. I'm not that mad. It's just I haven't seen this since the show, and I see it again, and I'm just like, oh my God. Oh my God. How about a game that focuses on bisexual lighting, says Machine? You goddamn right. You goddamn right. But even this, what is with this logo? What is with the purple logo with the, what is this, Sony? What are you doing? What the fuck are you people doing? Who is minding the store? Why would you do this? Bobby Bosley. Thank you, buddy, for the super chat. We appreciate it. Seriously, thank you, bud. The game doesn't pass the cool test. You wouldn't want to show it to your friends. You goddamn right. And this is what I'm saying to you, man. That if you go over to Xbox, again, I don't need to be cool. You guys saw what I'm playing. Book Nook and this fucking thing, whatever that thing was, the little spirit stead. I don't need to be cool. I'm 55 years old. I never was cool to begin with. But there is a point where there is something about knowing your audience. And I guess that's what I would say. I would say that Xbox has done a better job this generation of knowing their audience. And Sony, I feel, has done, they seem like they disrespect their audience. Or they seem like, you know what, you're going to love it, eat your vegetables, we know better, we're artists, we're storytellers. Sit down, we'll take care of you, stupid peasants. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. Yeah, okay, Da Vinci. Da Vinci says, according to certain God of War channels, okay, around 80% of fans are looking forward to Luffy. Great. This is Gabbin and Games starring David Jaffe. These are my thoughts. They're my takes. I don't know if you're looking forward to it. Let's put up a poll. Let's put up a goddamn cockadoodie poll. Let's see what you guys think, okay? Okay. Start a poll. Excited for God of War Luffy? Yes or no? Just leave it at that. Just leave it at that. Not any more complex than that. Jaffe, make its own game. Take the God of War branding. It's not God of War, says Tatum. I don't want to make games anymore. I'd rather just sit here and complain about them and get excited about the ones I'm excited about and show. That's a lot more fun. It's a lot easier too. Corey Barlog started the project, then passed it off. Well, again, Corey is a guy who, he follows movies. He worked with George Miller. He loves movies. I refuse to believe that Corey doesn't recognize that this is just kind of not as commercial as it needs to be. I'm sorry. Look at the cover. What is this? Now, then, this may not be on the box, but this is the current key art. What are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? Make the woman more attractive, not because, oh, I want to fuck the woman. Because she's the star of your fucking game, man. She can have a face that's been blown off with a shotgun, but make her cool. Make her fight cool and look cool and have a cool costume. This is good. Maybe that's what pisses me off, because I know how hard it is to get a game greenlit and get a game funded and get a team together talented like Santa Monica. And I get pissed because you waste it on this. You waste it on this. And I'm just like, why? Look at this. Nobody's going to look at her. You know how many, we spent over a year trying to figure out what Kratos would look like. But people would look at Kratos and go, that motherfucker is a badass. I want to be that guy. Do you know anybody that looks at this character and is like, holy, she looks like a generic sidekick in fucking Dragon's Dogma 2. There's nothing about this Sony is your new star. You know, it's like when you're Don Draper going into pitch in Mad Men to Heinz Ketchup or whatever, although he didn't get that deal, the other one did. But the point is like, this is your moment. This is your moment. This is the next big Sony star that should put Kratos to shame, that should be bigger than Kratos. That should be the goal. And you approve this? Come on. What are you doing? Iron Mike says, God of War's dead wife, Laufey, is a better title. You goddamn right. You goddamn right. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Yeah, it looks like a generic fantasy novel. It looks like a young adult fantasy novel. I just don't know why. What is wrong with you people? You know what the God of War audience wants? The predominantly male God of War audience. And again, you're talking to a guy that's playing this and loving it. You're talking to a guy that's playing this and loving it. My game of the year right now is Mixtape. Okay? I am not sitting around bitching about progressive values. I'm the most progressive guy you'll ever fucking meet in your goddamn life. I'm just talking business at this point. What are you doing? Who the fuck? What is with this fucking streamer shit? Your audience is male. Your audience is primarily guys who want to play violent video games. And you give us a purple logo, a stupid looking cube, and a sword with fucking, and again, I have a trans child. I have a gay brother. As long as the LGBT community will have me as an ally, I will proudly be an ally. But this looks like something you'd take to Pride Month, to a Pride parade. The fuck is happening? Nothing wrong with the Pride Parade. Make the gayest fucking hero in the world. But make him cool. Make him the gayest goddamn motherfucking guy. I mean, he kills the bad guys at night and goes to Pride parades in the day. Love it. Embrace it. Diversity is important. But in God of War, it's not a soft game and it shouldn't be a soft game. And this is soft, god damn it. I'm not insulting Pride Month, you idiot. You know? All right, what else we got talking about? I will say this, though. I will say this. What does this game have to do with gay? Nothing, man. Unless the cube is gay. But these colors are very, very Pride Month. Let's put it this way. They're very feminine. Okay? The colors are very feminine. I get the cube is for lore. Who gives a shit? You know what else was for lore? Darth Snoke. Ain't no kids buying action figures of Darth Snoke. This is probably the that Excalibur, which is this, was in, and it was frozen and cursed, and this is the lake and this is the sword. That's probably what it is. God of War Laufey, a cube store. You goddamn right. Well, speaking of, just for a little satisfaction, there is a new game coming out soon called
The elevator has reached the lowest level. Welcome to End. Destroy the cubes provided by the corporation. Find the ores.
Destroy cubes and weird
Examine
shit
the
comes out
ores.
like eyeballs.
Incinerate the ores.
I don't know.
There is no need to explore. There is no need to question. There is no need to understand.
This is the problem I have with the right wing. I think I've come around to their
Cubes.
My issue is not making a video game that is soft or that is more feminine. My issue is not, you know, I have no problem with that. I love that. I think it's important. My issue is doing it with this brand, and not even because I'm so offended. Not even because I'm so offended about the brand. It's just more what it represents. It represents a lack of integrity of the brand, I guess is what I would say. So Bobby says, thank you for the very generous super chat. He says, Jaffe, listen, too many games catering to the same demo, drains brains and encourages criticism. Astrobot was a warning shot. My son says PS5 is like a jukebox in a country bar. Xbox is the classic rock station. I appreciate all you're saying, and that's a very interesting way of putting it, but I'm not sure what kind of games are catering to the same demo. You mean on PlayStation? Or, because I mean, a jukebox in a country bar, I don't know what that means. I'm assuming it plays things that that audience wants. Zach says, hey, Jaffe, you know that the story was apparently conceptualized or written by Alana Pierce. I know that she was a writer on it. I don't know who did what, but I like Alana Pierce. I've always gotten along with her. I think she's great. And I've seen one of a short movie she wrote and directed. It was great. But whoever conceptualized this, whoever allowed this to go to production, something's going on. Nothing is really gay. Our atoms don't touch, says Vivid Violence. Understood. Alex, get rid of the Jello and I'll play Laufey day one. Okay, Alex, thank you, buddy. Is that what your God will let you do now that you're in seminary school? Machine XP, thank you for the super chat. A Cube's bisexual lighting love story. God of War. There you go. Yeah, she was one of the writers. Whatever. Okay. Yeah, people are jerks to Alana. It's a bunch. I think with all that stuff, it's a bunch of guys who are threatened by a very beautiful woman. Alana's a really attractive lady. She just is. And they don't like that she's also talented. They don't like that she also has positions that they wish they had. And so she's enemy number one for a lot of these people. But no, I got nothing against Alana. I got nothing against Corey. My issue with this is I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. And look, anybody who worked with me on the first God of War, I'm not always right. Maybe they think I'm never right, but I'm always honest about my opinion. Alex says, did you see Asha giving away free Series X's to fans? Yeah. I don't know what it meant. She was at the thing this weekend and she's like, if you look at your badge and you have the word fan on it, maybe that was you paid to get in versus the press. I don't know. You don't go home with it because it's not out, but you'll be getting the 25th anniversary Xbox, which is kind of cool. I mean, yeah. What else did we have though? All right, 1 second. Really, Addie Pie? She's not that good looking. I think she's very good looking, but whatever. Who gives a shit? Okay. But again, let's go back, my friends, to the fact that what is going on with people saying there aren't good games. By the way, we'll close the poll. 73% of people are not interested or excited for God of War. We'll see if the reviews may make it brilliant. And then 27% are. There you go. Okay. Resident Evil Veronica. I'm in. I love Claire Redfield. I loved her in the remake of Resident Evil 2. She's my favorite Resident Evil character. I'm in. You know, I'm not going to go through all of these. I'll just tell you the ones that popped my brain. Jin Atlas. Come on, man. Eco's one of my favorite games of all time. What TJM is asking what? What is he asking? I don't see it. Hang on. Jaffe, do you think the last Ronin will be Arkham with the turtle? Really disappointed in Wolverine's gameplay. Well, I mean, my understanding is the last Ronin, the Ninja Turtle game, got taken away from their original developer and got given to Platinum. And Platinum, you know, I don't play every Platinum game, so I can't speak to it. But the last Platinum game I don't think was very good. But before that, it was Bayonetta 3, and that was pretty fucking good from what I understand. So no, I'm excited for it. Resident Evil Veronica, very excited about it. David K doesn't think it's going to sell that well. I think it's going to sell really well, but you know, we'll see. Jin Atlas, of course, super excited for that. What else? The last Ronin, I am excited for because I like the Ninja Turtles, and I want to see how they do with development by Platinum. Black Flag Resync, day one for me. I love the original. This one looks even better. Crossfire, I'm very excited for. In fact, I owe Nick, the head of that studio, a text. I've just been busy. But the guy I did Bartlett Jones with, he co-owned it with me. He was always like, he really wanted to make a AAA game. And he was like, do you want to do that? And I was like, I'm just over it, man. And so I love this for him. He went out, they started a company. This is That's No Moon's game. And I'm two of the guys who were some of the key narrative guys on Call of Duty came with them, or not, they weren't with us, but they joined him. And they're making a single player military action shooter, but it's not like we got to get those missiles out of Cuba. You know, it's kind of a little bit Metal Gear. Which I think is cool. There's like some supernatural or weird science shit going on. I'm very interested. I don't think the characters look great yet. I think they need another pass at the characters, but the faces of the characters don't look that good. They look okay, but they should look better in this day and age. But that said, though, I think Crossfire looks very cool. I'm excited for that. Control Resonant, maybe. I know a lot of people are excited. It looks great. Looks fucking great, but I also worry about it a little bit because I've never really liked Control, but we'll see. Galactic Racer, excellent. Elliot, The Adventures of Elliot, I don't even remember seeing this, but I played the demo. It comes out this month, was fucking awesome. Looking forward to that. Blood of the Dawnwalker looks great. I haven't played the 1666 Amsterdam trailer, but people who played it said it was cool, but it's kind of, you don't really do much. There's no combat or anything in there. Hot Wheels Infinite Rush looks fucking awesome. Super fucking awesome. I can't wait for that. Stellar Blade. Let's jump gears to Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade Blood Rain. The next chapter in the acclaimed action-adventure franchise from Shift Up. This will be hitting on everybody's console and PC at this point. I am excited for this because the trailer looked awesome. But no, I didn't fence DSP Salt. Remember when Jaffe made a video titled as Kratos Black and he fence said the entire video? No, I didn't. I basically said he was Greek based on my understanding of Greek people at that time that were olive skinned. He's not a black guy. Is he played by a black guy? Is he voiced by a black guy? Yeah. And he's a Greek guy who has olive skin and he's covered in white skin or ash. It's not fence sitting. That's just the fucking goddamn truth. Here's your trailer. So I think this looks awesome. I think this fucking looks awesome. And yes, I know he's Greek is not black. I only played the first Stellar Blade demo and I liked it. I'm going to play it again. I can't tell you why yet. It may have something to do with an upcoming sponsor to the show, but there's something this sponsor creates that makes me want to actually go play that game now. But we'll talk about that later. Okay. But yeah, this game looks excellent. The combat, which is what I'll jump to, I love this guy when he explodes his head and he becomes a monster. This guy. The combat looks really fun. It's readable. It's nice how readable the combat is, without feeling like it's just constant cutscene after cutscene after cutscene. God damn it. So I'm super in. I'm super curious. I like it. However, that's cool. This is weird, man. This is fucking weird. Now, my favorite character is not Eve or this girl. It's the girl who dies at the beginning of Stellar Blade. She's hot as a skillet. I forget what her name is. But the complaints people have been making about this game is that the actress or the character looks like a child. And she kind of does. She kind of fucking does. Is that kind of weird? Kind of is. Kind of fucking is. I mean, look at this. She looks like she's like 11. She looks like she's that Arya Stark girl in the first few seasons of Game of Thrones. Right? And then you end up putting her in all of this, tight clothing, and there's something weird about it. I'm sorry, but there is. Now, I don't think the developer is making a I don't think the developer's like, we make games for PDFs. No, I don't think that's the case. And there are people in Japan and Asian countries that look younger than South Korea. But it's weird, man. And I'm not saying they should change it. Let them make their own, let them make the games they want to make. I don't care. But it's weird. You gotta agree to that, right? Well, okay, wait a minute though. 170 and beyond. Well, it's also just a game. It is weird, but I'm tired of this discourse. Well, look, you can be tired of it, but ask yourself why. Because this is normalizing, assuming that I'm not in the minority on this view of that she looks like a child in a lot of this key art. It kind of, she's also very sexually coded. And that's kind of gross. And it's also kind of worrying because it continues to perpetuate the sexualization of children. But that said, I don't think that's what the developer was going for. I just think that's kind of what they ended up with. And if they don't want to change it, they should be free to make whatever the fuck they want to make. I support that. But don't tell me, I mean, look, you can see the fucking sweat or water inside and outside. I mean, come on. Don't tell me this is not meant to be a sexualized character. That's all I'm saying. Do with it what you will. Don't study Japanese culture. Right. I mean, well, it's not Japanese. It's South Korea. It's North Korea. It's South Korea. But again, I mean, let them, if their culture is, I don't even know what their age of consent is. For all I know, the age of consent in South Korea is 15. And maybe they're like, hey, man, this is normal for us. If she was Lollipop Chainsaw, she's 18. And as long as she crosses, I don't fucking know. Let me see. Face actress. Stellar Blade 2. Let's see. Let's find out together, shall we? It's none of these. I don't know, man. You said look her up. I don't know if you know where I could find it. I have no idea. These are all the first Stellar Blades. So, okay. Yeah, P Turtle will probably know. If the model's of age, then it's okay. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know either. I'm very excited for the game regardless. I just think it's weird. No Name says, Jaffe, do you agree with Mixtape's terrible message? I don't know. What terrible message do you think exists in Mixtape? I wasn't aware that there was much of a message in Mixtape, but maybe I'm wrong. What are you talking about? The suit she's wearing is a white version of the invisible suit, says Red Sheets and Ghost in the Shell. Cool. Yeah, I mean, the game looks cool. It looks like a fucking playable Ghost in the Shell. I'm super in, man. I think people forget what 18-year-olds look like. No, I don't think so. I think Lollipop Chainsaw looks like an 18-year-old. I think this girl with her baby fat on her cheeks looks like a child. She just does. Yeah, Phil Spencer, Jaffe the actress from Laufey's in Netflix. Yeah, I like her a lot. Deborah Ann Wall, yeah, she's great. Okay. Yeah, the scary part yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, what is the mixtape message? I loved mixtape. I thought it was excellent. 18-year-olds are basically children anyway, says 170. Well, I mean, there has to be, look, there's an age of consent, whatever you want to do with that, right? And currently in most states in America, it's 18. And so whether you think they're a child or not, our American society, for the most part, has said that's an acceptable time. Agree, disagree is irrelevant. That's where it is right now. Lollipop Chainsaw looks like she's an 18-year-old, very young woman. This girl looks like she's like in 6th, 7th grade. It's weird. Okay, well, first off, Colin is not Jewish. Tana here. I despise Colin. He is a contemptuous Jew. First off, he's Catholic or was raised Catholic. Second off, what? Who gives a shit if he's Jewish? He's not. But if people and their Jew hate is weird, man. So fuck it. Because people who just automatically, now, not Israel. Israel's got problems. I'm glad Netanyahu looks like he's going to be on the way out. Zionism at any cost has problems. I'm glad people are pushing back on that. But anybody else who's just doesn't like you because you're a Jew, it just shows how brainwashed and silly you are. I don't want to ban him yet. He hadn't said anything wrong. He's saying stupid ideas. He has a right to, have his opinion. I just don't understand it. Bizarre. Maybe it's because I grew up, I was raised Jewish. 170 says I literally never understood the anti-Jew viewpoint. All the stuff the Jews are supposed to have, power, influence, money, control the media, I can assure you, as an agnostic kid being raised Jewish in Alabama, I didn't have any of that. It would have been nice. Would have been nice. I want to remind you, delightful people. I want to. Jaffe, did anybody verbally attack you on what you said on the whole Luffy trailer? I mean, some people, but and I'm not shitting on Sony. I don't like Sony right now. I don't like PlayStation first party right now. It's not shitting on them. I have a right to my opinion. If you really get excited by PlayStation's first party lineup for the most part during the PS5 era, then that's wonderful. I don't like it. I think it feels too precious. I think they've forgotten to entertain the audience, and they're so obsessed with being artists that they've stopped making good business choices. That's what I fucking think. But that's the only shit I've gotten is people who take real offense at that, or the moronic right-wingers that think I can look at the actress Deborah Ann Wall, who's beautiful, and say, this doesn't make any sense, that she doesn't look as good. She's not attractive in this game. And that's okay if there's a reason, like, she's either a co-star or it's about transforming, like the girl in the Witcher TV series, what's her name? Or she's just a plain Jane, but her outfit and stuff and her weapons are badass. But even the sword is, I mean, seriously, you know how long we took working on the weapons for Kratos? How many iterations we went? And then you go back and look at that stupid fucking sword in God of War Laufey. It's what? Look at this. Luffy, whatever the fuck it's called. Look at this fucking sword. There is nothing. I mean, seriously, it pisses me off because I was at that studio. I know what it was about. I remember what it was about. I remember how hard we worked. This is her big weapon. This is the big thing that people are going to make props of and cosplay with. What are you talking about? So, yeah, I don't like it. But if you love it, then fucking love it, man. Love it up and down. It's just a fucking video game company. They certainly don't give a shit about you. I'll tell you that. Okay. All right. Corey Barlog invented Frank. Great. I think it's, Tech, shut up. I think it is, you know, I think it's one of those choices that somebody should have been able to say no to. Somebody should have been like, it's fun when we were out last night, drunk or high, and it is clever and it's weird and it's kind of bold, but it's more than any of that. It's just stupid. If you want to make a character that looks like a person, like there was a movie like where the character could bounce or something, you know, and you want to make that character be able to morph like Plastic Man, and you want to make that into a god, like, oh, that's the god of plastic. I don't fucking know. Okay, that's interesting. Where it can stretch and become different shapes and all that. Cool. And here's what else I would argue. Let's say that that's what this is, but they're not revealing that yet. Okay. Well, don't do that then. If you're not going to reveal the cube is cool, then you deserve, if you're consciously saying, we're going to hold that off because we want the player to discover that, that's totally fine. But don't get pissed or don't act surprised when people say what you've shown so far is fucking stupid. Because it's fucking stupid. You know. All right. My dear friends, that has been Gabbin' and Games for this beautiful Monday, July 8th. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me. I've enjoyed hanging out with you. Talking video games. I will be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock on Locale Crypt with Josh talking about the weird, the wild, the wonderful. And then I'll be back again tomorrow around 5:15 talking or playing video games, depending. I may, depending on when I get back home tonight, stream some cozy games. We will see. But again, consider a membership, consider a subscription. Please consider going over to our wonderful sponsor, Retro Game Treasure. These guys will ship you, it's like Christmas every month. They will ship you 3 to 5 retro games that you get to keep. Any generation, going all the way back to the Intellivision, the Atari 2600. The Atari 2600. It's good stuff. They're a great company. They've been in business for 10 years. They won't let you down. There's a link below, and if you go down there and you check out your first box, and enter Jaffe 10, you'll get 10% off. When we're finishing Twisted Metal Rocker Mad, I'm not sure, but soon, because I want to. Where'd that go? Oh, and then Nintendo Direct tomorrow morning. If I can wake up in time, I'll stream that. If not, I'll just talk about it on tomorrow's Gabbin' and Games. Jaffe, you going to watch tomorrow? Yeah. PK, thank you for being a member for 23 months. Like I just said, I don't know yet. Depends if I can wake up. So, depends when I go to bed tonight. That's the show, my friends. Anna G, thank you for modding this motley crew of motherfucking malevolent miscreants. And thanks for the new super chats, the new members, the donations. Appreciate it. See you guys soon. Goodbye. That's not the right screen. This is what you want, baby, right here.